Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's tips and tricks call. It is officially springtime, according to the calendar. I don't know if it feels like springtime where you're at, but we're in Utah, so it was snowing Sunday, and it's a beautiful sunny day out today and balmy 44 degrees. So definitely springtime in Utah. Anyway, we're glad you're here. On this tips and tricks call. You may have noticed something when registering for this call. You actually had the ability to sign up for the next 20 tips and tricks calls, which is crazy to think because that's, just over a year and a half worth of tips and tricks calls. But I feel like that year and a half will go by quick before you have to schedule out another 20 more. But the reason why I bring that up is because I've noticed that there have been a lot of returning Aptivata users on these calls. So I figured it'd be a good idea, instead of having to re-register, you can kind of pick and choose which ones you want to register for each time. So I believe registering once can sign you up for all the registrations or all the events, but by registering, you can also register for individual ones as well. So something to keep in mind here. Looks like we got our attendees rolling in. So with that, I have Ryan and Leilani got double duty going on here in the background. They're here to answer any Q&A questions that pop up. Ryan's going to throw the Aptivata giveaway link in the chat here. Now the chat is great. Feel free to use it to make comments on anything discussed. But if you have an official question, I'd like to direct you to the Q&A section, because what happens a lot in the chat is a question will be asked and only the panelists will see it. By utilizing the Q&A, then everyone actually will see the question. I'll see it. I'll be able to answer it on air if Ryan or Leilani don't get to it in text form as well. But what's nice is the question and the answer will be addressed for everyone to see. This is going to be a quicker tips and tricks call, so I'll let you guys get back to your day, but you'll see the giveaway link should be live and ready to go. So feel free to enter that. We'll give away $100 to Amazon at the end of this call. So I know that's something to look forward to. And then, of course, also at the end, we do have a survey sent through Zoom that gives us feedback on how we're doing on these types of calls. We've definitely taken your feedback in the past and applied them to these presentations. So if you could just take a minute and fill out, I believe it's only 4 questions. So we're very appreciative of that. We'll be going over some upcoming national promotions, and then I want to focus on the reporting tab, which I believe you should all have access to. I'll show you what that looks like. If for some reason you don't have access to it in your account, we can go ahead and get that added. Then I like to reserve some time for questions while we sort out the gift card winner. So that's what you have to look forward to. Jumping into national promotions, keep in mind that you might be part of a group that doesn't participate in our national promotions. So if you have any questions about that, the best people to ask would be your corporate team. We do offer a dozen national promotions or so throughout the year where we provide the pricing. Another circumstance you might find yourself in is you can utilize our sports promotions. Like for instance, our Basketball Madness is going on, where you're utilizing the program, but any sort of pricing tied to the national promotion you won't be utilizing. For instance, we give away $1 million for the perfect bracket, which we haven't ran the numbers, but as of last week into the second round, I don't think that we had anyone with a perfect bracket anymore. So I've just wanted to update you all here. You get an exclusive report on this tips and tricks call. So keep that in mind. If you see these national promotions and you're wondering if your group can run them or not, just double check with your corporate team, and then I'll show you where you can sign up for those if you are in the clear to do so. So right around the corner is Mother's Day. We give away $2,000 to mom for the winner. This is a guaranteed prize. So one group who signs up for this will receive that $2,000 that we give away to one lucky winner. But what's nice about this is, of course, you can tie a local prize to that as well. So it doesn't, you can tie in a spa day or anything Mother's Day related, a 2-for-1 type dinner as a local sponsor. So your participants aren't just relying on winning that $2,000. Of course, if that's all you want to do and just create engagement, then that's fine. But we do encourage you to tie in local sponsors. So celebrate mom with the chance to win $2,000. I copied and pasted this where it says use the form below to register. I'll show you where to register on Idea Studio. But the run date's right around the corner. That starts 4/11 to 5/4, so May 4th, and the sign up closes on April 6th. So still plenty of time to decide if this is something that you want to do. And then of course you see what we include with that: the contest execution, prize money rules, and applicable winner paperwork, which takes a load off of your team, I'm sure, and then generic images that you can actually edit and customize to make them your own. With Mother's Day comes Father's Day, pretty much the exact same promotion, just later on in the month of May. So 5/16 to 6/15. Great way to use these national promotions is to run them back to back, and any sort of advertising or verbiage that you want to use there, letting people know to stick around. If they didn't win the $2,000 for mom, then there's a chance to win $2,000 for dad. That one ends the middle of June, and sign up closes May 11th, and the exact same features are included in the Father's Day promotion. This one's exciting. This one we've made some changes to from last year. So with that, we have the summer cash contest. We're actually only going to be running this one for a week this year, but we've upped the ante on the prizes. So we're actually giving away $2,000 a day. The run dates are from 7/11 to 7/15. So sign up for that. Closes on July 6th. I believe there was a question on the last tips and tricks call when I brought this up of, why did we shorten the dates? The idea of running this national promotion is to give you an idea of how our countdown application works. You'll see at the bottom, I threw in a note here that says this promotion uses our countdown keyword application. And this is Tim talking here. I've noticed that, not a lot of our customers utilize the countdown keyword app. And if it's not included in your package, you can always reach out to us. We can work through that with the client success manager assigned to your account and see what it would take to get that added. But you don't have to have that app added to participate in the summer cash contest. So this is twofold. We want to provide a nice summertime national promotion for you to piggyback off of. Because we did shorten it by a few weeks, then we are upping the prize money. Hopefully that prize money will bring in people right up front with that $2,000 a day. The idea behind this is to get people to listen or tune in or look for posts on your social media accounts looking for specified keywords. Now our application does generate the keywords automatically, but of course, if you want to customize those, you have the ability to do so. So maybe we could do a demonstration on the Countdown app in a near future tips and tricks call, just so you can get an idea of what that would look like if you're considering running this. So yeah, the summer cash contest, that one is $2,000 a day. It utilizes our keyword countdown application, very mobile friendly, easy to engage with. Basically what it is you listen, find, view the keyword, put it in, and then it asks for your information that you like to collect, first name, last name, email address, and information like that. Then it displays when the next keyword will go live, keeping your audience on the hook for that next keyword. Now, all of these can be viewed at ideas.aptivata.com. So I'm going to go ahead and show you, whoops, without rushing through my presentation here. The Idea Studio. Now, most of you are probably already familiar with the Idea Studio, but for those of you who aren't, we have this tab on the top of it, the national promotions. Go ahead and it'll ask you to sign in. If you have an Aptivata login, you can sign in. If you don't, you can actually create your own account. And a lot of times there's some sales managers that might not have access to it, but you'll be able to view our 2022 promotions calendar, so you'd see what's coming up And then, of course, when you click into any one of these, it will load the form down below to get your stations signed up there. So that's how the Idea Studio works. There's a bunch of other great things to take a look at with the Idea Studio. I know that we're working on some updates with our National Promotions Director who kind of manages this. So keep an eye out for any updates on our Idea Studio. All right, jumping back to the presentation here. Let's talk about the reporting tab. Again, this tab, you'll see it highlighted there toward the bottom. Your pop-out menu might not look like mine. I have a few extra things that help us provide support to all of you. But you'll notice down there at the bottom, the reporting tab. If you don't see that on your account, you should have access to it. But if for some reason you don't see it, then go ahead and let us know. So we'll be taking a quick dive into the reporting tab here, and I'm just gonna talk to you about how it works, what it does, and you know, the type of use cases that you can create with it. So let me go ahead and jump back into our admin here and discuss that. So let's say you're at your home screen here. Over here on the left-hand side, you'll find the reporting tab. Now, I am in an account that has a parent account and then a child, then 3 child accounts. So when you see parent or child or children in the reporting tab, that's what I'm referring to. Some of you might not have access to an account that has parent-child relationships to it, but that's okay because this reporting tab still applies to the account that you're in. So we have 2 tabs over here on the upper right-hand corner. You have your account tab and you have your network stats. So for those of you who do manage accounts that have parent-child relationships, that network stats tab is where you want to pull from the entire network that you're over. This network stats tab does still apply to individual stations if it's just a single station that you're working with. So keep that in mind. However, the account tab, this does exclusively apply to only the account that you've accessed the reporting tab from. So we have a few options here. We have promotions live, which the little explainer says fetches number of promotions that were live at some point during the time frame. So if you're curious of how many promotions were ran in the year 2021, then I'll go ahead and click Fetch Report. And you'll see I have it grouped by day, so things are pretty sporadic here. So what we want to do is actually set the time frame to month, and I'll do 2021. That should give me more of a condensed view. So it'll show you what types of contests you have run. So we have contests, which is also known as sweepstakes, gallery, survey, sports, popularity poll, pro form is our form builder, quiz, video is our live stream that we built during the pandemic, and then the countdown. So this is going to give you the months that they were run, totals. So this is a nice recap of what I've done in 2021. Now, your numbers should be a lot larger than this. I'm working with a demo account, so don't judge the low numbers here. So this is great because it helps with your year-end wrap-ups, or if you want to do it monthly, quarterly, or so forth. We do have preset timeframes for you to pull from. Promotion performance fetches performance of live promotions during a time frame. Then, of course, you can select by app type of how it did in that time frame. So it's going to give you how many days it was live. And we're also working on a piece here that will include the number of entries. I believe that it has received. There is a missing piece on that one there. So if I were to show you year 2021, I think it would look, oh, here we go. So we have days live, entries and unique entries. So I believe that update was just recently pushed because I was working on that personally to get that on there. So it gives you an idea of how the promotions have performed. So you can see all my test promotions there. New users acquired. So you'll see how many new users for this specific account were acquired. I did this day by day, looking pretty sparse here. Let me see if I can again, let me attach a month to it. That'll give me a better idea. Go ahead and fetch the report there. So let's talk about what a new user is. Okay, so in our stats, we have total users. So when you're running a promotion, you see total entries, I guess is the better term for it. That means how many times somebody has entered. So if I entered a promotion 10 times, then the total entries for that promotion would be 10. When we talk about unique users, which you'll see a stat for in just a second, we're talking about that individual. So even though I entered 10 times as a unique user, it would only tally me once. So you could have 3 people who each entered 10 times, your total users would be 30, your unique, or your total entries would be 30, your unique entries would be 3. But what we're looking at here is new users. This is new people who have entered your promotion for the first time ever on this account. So when you're looking at new users acquired, that means that is showing what your database growth is in regard to new people entering promotions. So just want to clarify that. We do get several questions about the difference, so hopefully that helps out here. And then user action breakdown, let's do this one for the year. Let me make sure I set it to the month so it's nice and concise. I'll go ahead and fetch this report. And this one comes in handy because you can see how they're interacting with the form fields on this account. So this is great to help you see what types of conversions you're getting, especially for fields like visit site, video watch, download app, Instagram follow, LinkedIn follow, list opt-in, and so forth. Now, with each one of these reports, you can actually download it as a CSV. If you're good with Excel, you can make these numbers a little bit more digestible when comparing to overall entries that an account receives. But right now, what you get from our reporting tab is the raw data. Okay, so let's jump into network stats. Again, if you have access to several accounts, so you have an account with a parent-child relationship, this is going to give you the numbers across the entire network here. So network promotion usage fetches number of promotions in a network that were live at some point during the time frame. So we have a bunch of different filter options that we can play with. You can throw in a parent app ID if it's syndicated app type. So we could just exclude it to, or we could just have it show sweepstakes. And then when we're talking about group type, then it will also group by app type as well. So say you ran this many galleries as a group, this many as an app type, this many sweepstakes as an app type, and so forth. So let me go ahead and run this and see what we get. Okay, so you can see that I have run some contests and some sports applications within the year. So what this is telling me is overall I ran 12 promotions. It looks like it's including sport here. Let me go ahead and remove sweepstakes and see what we get here. Okay, all right, so it is including the sports application here. So it's saying that within the year I've ran 3 contests on my child accounts and 1 sports application each on my child account. So you can see the account, the app type, and the totals there. So this is great for, if you're asking yourself, how many promotions, how many sweepstakes did I run in 2021? Rather than going over to the promotions tab here and just counting, you can actually run that as a report. Network promotion list fetches promotion information of syndicated promotion ran on child accounts. So let's take a look at what this delivers us. Okay, so I created a few tests that I was running with keywords. And so you can see those are my 3 promotions that it was pulling in for me in 2021 that I ran. And so it's showing me the different types of promotions on the child account and giving me some valuable information here as far as start date, end date, and also the URL where it says hosted URL is clickable. So you can actually view where that was live on at any given time. All right, jumping down, network promotion installs fetches whether account has installed promotions during a time frame. So this is going to be a simple yes or no type promotion, or a yes or no type question. So if you're wondering if there's certain accounts that haven't installed any type of promotion, then and you know, let's say you really want to boost participation in galleries and you want to see which stations have run galleries and which haven't, then I'm going to go ahead and use filter by no. I'll do 2021 again. Let's see what this gives me. This one might take just a second to run. So it doesn't look like I have any that haven't installed. So let's go ahead and click yes. See what this gives me here. Okay, so this is asking me, or this is telling me that all 3 of my child accounts have installed any promotion at any given time. Now this is great for larger networks to check utilization of Aptivata. This is going to tell you which accounts haven't utilized it at all, and it's a great tool to kind of check in on those groups and find out why they haven't done that. Okay, network promotion performance is pretty self-explanatory. It fetches numbers of entries received from all accounts in a network during a time frame. So this is really a great aggregate. So over the course of 2021, you know, this is a test account. I've only received 138 total entries, but you can see kind of a breakdown of how each account is doing in your network there. So 135, it looks like most people have entered through my parent account and just a handful through the child accounts. Again, these numbers are skewed because I am using a test contest. I didn't want to use, or a test account. I didn't want to use a live one and expose any numbers here. Okay. Syndication, promotion, referrals. We were getting the question of how do I know people who are clicking on the Facebook or Twitter referral link. So if you have referrals set up on your promotions, what this looks like is on step 3, there's the option to share via Facebook or share via Twitter. What you can do here is you can actually grab an app ID. You can throw it in here, and how to grab an app ID. Let me go ahead and jump into promotions. I'm going to look at a completed promotion. And to grab an app ID, you'll actually find it up in the URL of the promotion. So for this one, it is the 7-digit number of 1161812. I'm going to jump back to my reporting, network stats, push app ID here, and go ahead and look at it for the year. Okay, now again, because this is a test account, it's not giving me any solid feedback, but this is going to give you, based on this promotion, you can see how many referrals entries came from Facebook and how many Twitter referrals. So FB and TW are Twitter and Facebook referrals, and then it will total those numbers as well. Because if you know on the stats, it doesn't really track that number. And so we've included it here in the reporting tab. Okay, so syndicated promotion performance. This one, so this goes back to national promotions. It also goes back to any network-wide promotions that maybe your group has run. If there's anyone at a lower level who is curious what their stats are compared to the national level or the group-wide level, you can actually request from us. So in this case, the pro football or the basketball madness or mayhem challenge, we could actually give you the promotion ID from the parent account that's syndicated from. Then you come in with that ID and you can actually place that here, and this will show you your network stats across the entire promotion. Because if you're familiar with syndication, when you syndicate a promotion from a parent account, you have access to all of those stats at that parent level. You can see how each individual station's doing and take a look at the numbers there. Well, when we host it, you all don't have access to the syndicated promotion. So what we've done is allowed you to get a window into how your group is doing by taking the promotion ID that we can provide you. So in this case, it could be for basketball mayhem. You put the promotion ID in this app ID field, and we know that basketball mayhem is running in 2022. So it's going to take a look at all your accounts that have that national promotion installed and give you the numbers of how they're doing across your network. So that's a handy way to be able to see your stats from a promotion that you don't have access to the parent account to. I guess that's the breakdown of it. Okay, new users acquired, pretty self-explanatory. That's the same as what we saw under the account tab under new users acquired, but this would then show you the new users across the entire network. Again, you have different group by options. You'll have the same options. Some of the filter by options have more or less selections to choose from, but you can, when it's talking about group by, what this is telling you is you can group it by account or by time frame here. So you could say in the month of February, we'll see if we even, I don't think we got 2 new users acquired in the month of February across the entire network. So that's going to give you some network totals there. Network user action breakdown. This is that exact same thing that I was showing you as far as how your fields are doing. So how across the entire network, people are engaging with the additional fields that you add to your promotion. Again, that's network wide. But there's a few included pieces to this. So for the network admin logins, that's more if you're curious how many people are logging into individual accounts. So again, that goes back to the utilization piece. If you see an account that hasn't run any promotions in the last quarter, you can then jump in and take a look at network admin logins. And with this one, we actually do have a date range that you can select from as well, where everything else is preset timeframes. And you can see, well, it doesn't look like you've even logged into this account in the last quarter. So let's go ahead and boost those numbers. Let's get you logged in and running some promotions. So this is kind of a bird's eye view of how your admins are logging in to the platform. And then this last one, network active promotions. This is fetching a list of promotions active in the network that were live at some point during a time frame. So let's see what we have for December 2021 and see if this gives me a report. So across my entire network, I only had 1 promotion that was running. This tells you the app ID, the account that it ran under, the type of promotion it was. So this is instant win. This is a link to the promotion, the start and end time, and then entry totals. So within the app, I got 8 entries. There were no syndicated entries, no entries from any sort of syndication. And then the same with uniques as well as I was running tests. So that's what app versus syndication or SYN is referring to. This is great if you're wondering, across the entire network, you want to see a list of all the promotion types that were ran over the course of a set time frame. This is a really handy tool. Sometimes we'll run it on our end to take a look at any promotions that are doing really well that we want to highlight in any sort of case studies or anything of that nature. Okay, so this is I said this was going to be a quick tips and tricks, went a little bit longer than I was anticipating actually, but this was a crash course on the reporting tab. I would encourage you all to take some time, mess around with the reporting, generate any questions that you might have, and then of course you can always hit us up on our support channels, Aptivata, support@aptivata.com for email, or of course we have our support button here in the right hand corner. While I'm here, I want to point out we did add a link to the Idea Studio in that support chat, so you don't actually have to remember the Idea Studio or bookmark it. You can jump over to the Idea Studio directly from our support tab. So it looks like you all have been fairly quiet with picking or with questions. So while I throw that out there, now's the time to ask any questions that you might have by anything that you saw. I'm going to send Ryan off to provide me a winner to our giveaway here. So if you don't have any questions, we'll hang out on this slide for about 30 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording here because we do actually share